everyone, this is Debo and welcome to today's video. So in today's video, we're going to finish up our Not Your Usual Accessories Guide, which is the part 2 of the series. So I'll link up part 1 of this accessory guide in the card as well as the description below. And in part 1, we covered all the unique accessories as well as talk about what are the accessories that you should go for, what are the accessories that will fit into the different situations, as well as what are the skippable accessories that you could probably skip once you have them in your collection. So yeah, and in today's video we're going to talk about the legend accessories as well as the epic accessories. So let us begin today's video. I think the key difference between your unique as well as your legend and epic accessories, other than just the stats, is the ease of accessibility, because for your epic accessories as well as your legend accessories, their drop rate from within the weapon gachas as well as the item dungeons are much lower as compared to your unique accessories, so you don't get them as often unless you are really lucky. However, the elemental mirror accessories can be found from the mirror rift, and you can actually exchange it from the Camazon shop with the mirror shards. Yeah, sorry, I almost said bottle cap there. And for the Minotaur necklace as well as the Mad Panda brooch, you can actually get it from the shop with the battle medals. So they cost 600 battle medals to get one copy of it. So that's a few things you can take note of. And if you want me to compare, I don't usually encourage people to invest in legend accessories just because you don't unlock their limit break 5 ability as fast as compared to your elemental mirror accessories, nor your unique accessories such as pocket watch or even your fortress ring. So I don't usually advise people to invest in the legend accessories. However, there's actually a few of them that's actually good enough for you to keep multiple copies of to invest in for their stats. So let us take a look at them. So number 1, we have your Ring of Belief. So Ring of Belief, right, has above average defensive stats with 2% crit chance and also like a good spread of defensive and offensive bonus stats. So this accessory, right, is actually very good on units that don't really rely on their weapon skill as much, because this accessory lack the weapon skill regen compartment. So for units such as Beth, who relies on weapon skill, for units that rely on weapon skill such as Future Princess, you don't really want to use this accessory. But units such as Nari will actually benefit really well because the high defense is very good on Nari, and the attack and crit chance is also very helpful for Nari's right click. So that's one thing that you guys can take note of. However, if you compare this to the like of Pocket Watch, for example, let us take a look at Pocket Watch. You can see that the defensive stat is not that much higher, but Pocket Watch is a much better offensive accessories overall. So I think the more important thing to take note of for the legend accessories is that the legend accessories generally have a higher range. So let us take Pocket Watch, which is one of the best unique accessory, right, to compare with some of these accessories that we're going to compare later. So here we have 114 defense to 123 defense. But if you compare this to Ring of Belief, you have 118 to 127. So the range isn't really that big in terms of defenses. But for this one, you have a crit chance and you have more stats in terms of sub option. So overall, this accessories is decent, but I won't really recommend it over the Pocket Watch. But it depends on personal preference. So I won't really comment too much, just to let you guys know this accessory is good for units that don't rely on their weapon skill as much. And let us move on to the next legend accessory, which is the Black Crown Ring. So at first glance, you guys can tell that the Black Crown Ring is a very good defensive accessory. However, is this defensive accessory better than the behemoth of the unique defensive accessory, which is the Ring of Fortress? So let us take a look at Ring of Fortress stats again. Ring of Fortress has 123 defense to 133 defense, up to 35 damage reduction, up to 15% in defense when you have max limit break 5, which is really easy to achieve, and up to 10% HP. So that's a lot of defensive stat for Ring of Fortress. And when you compare this to the Black Crown Ring, you can see that Black Crown Ring has a lower defensive range, roughly the same damage reduction because this is a range, not a flat 35. So Sometimes you could get really high 35, sometimes you can only get 20, so it ranges. And in terms of the additional stats, Black Crown Ring, you can get up to 13% defense, so 2% less compared to the Ring of Fortress, but you get 4% more HP and additional weapon skill regen speed of up to 6%. So when you compare these two rings side by side, in most scenarios where you want to put this ring on a tanker that doesn't use weapon skill, I would say that the Ring of Fortress will be much better if you have it max limit break, because you got additional limit break 5 stats. But if you compare these two accessories side by side, they're actually pretty equal in terms of power level. But the Black Crown Ring will be a better accessories to have on your tank in the arena where the weapon skill cooldown matters the most. So that's one thing to take note of for the Black Crown Ring. So this is a very good accessory, and it's really good for tankers within the arena. But other than that, the power level is actually the same as Ring of Fortress. So if you have Ring of Fortress max out, then I think you're pretty safe for your tanks already. And let us move on to the next legend accessory, which is the Chase Love Brooch. So in my honest opinion, this accessory is one of the worst accessory to exist in the game. Yeah, really the worst accessory, because it's a very unknown accessory. The position of this accessory is very weird because of the stats distribution. So at first glance, you can tell that, you have crit chance, you have a really low defense, you have weapon skill regen speed. You might have think that this accessory is a hyper offensive accessory similar to your sharpshooter. So over here, you guys can see. So you might have thought that this is a hyper offensive accessory, but the secondary ability, or rather the max limit break 5 ability, are all defensive in nature. So you have HP plus 6%, you have HP plus 12%, you have heal plus 12%. The only offensive stats are your skill damage, weapon skill regen speed, and crit chance. So in terms of defenses, it's even lousier than a max limit break sharpshooter, and in terms of offense, it's not even as good as a sharpshooter. So overall, this accessory is really bad. Do not invest in it. Even if you have it at like the max weapon skill regen speed, it's not worth it because you lose way too much defense. So it makes your character really fail, and yeah, it's just a bad accessory as a whole, especially within the legend category. And yeah, moving on, we will look at the Dark Magic Ring. So Dark Magic Ring is actually a golden pocket watch substitute if you do not have a max limit break pocket watch, which won't happen most of the time, because if you look at the stats, you can see that it has much lower defensive stat compared to pocket watch. So this is Dark Magic Ring stat, and this is pocket watch stat. So defensive stats is much lower, and in terms of other stat line, right, it's much worse as well. So there's so many stat line for pocket watch, but there's only this many stat line for Dark Magic Ring. So over here, Dark Magic Ring. So it's honestly not as good, right? You can treat it as a pocket watch substitute, but it's not as good. And the minus weapon skill regen speed time or enemy kill, right, I mentioned many times, it might be usable within the likes of Camazon or within the modes where you have a lot of enemies, but in most cases it's not that helpful. So is this a good accessory to invest in? The answer is no. Is this a sufficient pocket watch substitute if you don't have a pocket watch? I'll say yes. So yep, that's my take on this accessory, and let us move on to the next accessory, which is one of the best healing accessory, right? So it's none other than Ocean Earring. So Ocean Earring has one of the highest defensive stat of all the healing earring. So the other healing earring is the goddess statue over here. You look at the defensive range is much lower, and I think Sacred Rosary is also a heal. Nope, not Sacred Rosary. Yep, over here, Angel Necklace. So Angel Necklace is also a healing accessory. So in terms of defensive stat, they are all lower than Ocean Earring, and in terms of heal number, they're also lower than the Ocean Earring. So Ocean Earring is really good for any of your healers out there, and other than healers, it's also good for your healer who can actually deal damage as well, because it gives 12% HP, making it a bit tankier, right? 10% attack and 8% defense. So Gabriel actually uses the Ocean Earring really well, because you get additional 28% heal, and because Gabriel functions on her heal number rather than a certain percentage of your HP. More heal, right, is actually better for Gabriel because she can regen much higher HP numbers. So yep, this accessory is really good on your healers and also damage dealers that can heal. So Gabriel is one of them. And yeah, that's my take for the Ocean Earring. And the next accessory is your Curse Necklace. So Curse Necklace is the cheaper version of your Dark Mirror accessory. I don't think it's that good, right? Dark type attack 15, you can get it from your Minotaur necklace and you can get it from your legend accessory. So it's not that impressive, and the defensive stat is really bad. So similar to the Chase Love Rouge, I'll say that Curse Necklace isn't really good. You can keep a copy for your guild rate because the Dark type attack 15% and 3% crit chance might be useful for your Dark teams, but other than that, I won't recommend you to invest in this legend accessory. So Honor Ring is generally a very well-rounded offensive accessory because it has attack negation, right? Attack decrease 70 negation. So this just means that you have attack decrease debuff negation with up to 70% chance. So it's a really good accessory on units that don't really use weapon skill as much. So Nari is a good choice, similar to the Ring of Belief. So it works in a similar manner to the Ring of Belief, but it has the added bonus of the attack decrease negation. So that's what's so good about this accessory. So in the legend category, I'll say that the Honor Ring, the Ocean Earring, the Ring of Belief, as well as the Black Crown rings are all accessories you can actually keep and try to max limit break them. But I would say that the best to max limit break will be the Black Crown ring for your PvP tanks. And for your units in arena that relies on attack, I will recommend Honor Ring because the attack decrease negation is actually pretty useful against the like of Bianca, and I think there's some Rue as well. So in that case, right, this ring is really helpful. So yep, that's my take on all the legend accessories. We'll move on to the epic accessories. So for the epic accessories, I will group all the elemental mirror accessories together because they are basically the same accessory just for different elements. So I'll just talk about them all together. And with that disclaimer, I'm gonna start talking about Mad Panda Brush. So in terms of stats, Mad Panda Brush can give you one of the highest defense, which is 145. So the best defensive accessories in my opinion is actually the Earth Necklace, but the Earth Necklace only gives you up to 137 defense. So in that case, if you can high roll on your Mad Panda Brush on max limit break, you can get up to 145 defense, which is insane. And other than that, you can get up to 12% defense on the primary stats, and also 6% HP, up to 40 damage reduction, and a lot of other stats down here. So this is, I would say, either the second best defensive accessory or the third best defensive accessory on how you look at it, because the top 3 in my opinion is definitely Earth Necklace. This is the best defensive accessory, I'll talk about it later. And the second will either be Black Crown Ring depending on the scenario, or your Fortress Ring. So this is definitely up there. I think this is the second best because it has such a massive stat line, and yeah, just a really good defensive accessory in terms of stats. And next one, we have Minotaur Necklace. So Minotaur Necklace is, I would say, the best hyper offensive accessory because it has weapon skill regen speed, it has crit chance, it has skill damage, and it has a max limit break ability which gives you more attack, and it has a sub option that gives you additional elemental attack of up to 18%. So in case you guys don't know why this is insane, the elemental accessories, they only give you 15% elemental attack, up to 15%. So the Minotaur Necklace can give you up to 18%. So if you stack this with this, with this, with this, and with this, your character is going to get a lot of DPS. However, a few important things to take note of, and that is Minotaur Necklace, similar to the Mad Panda Brush, can be obtained from the Battle Medal shop. Although you can get them from the shop, they cost a lot of medals. So usually it's very hard to maximally break them as well, unless you're super duper lucky, like I mentioned multiple times, or you really just grind them out from the Battle Medal shop. And next, we will talk about the Elemental Mirror accessory. So basically these are your end game accessories over here. They're all your end games. You see a lot of arena players running them at max limit break because they're really easy to max limit break, and overall their stats are pretty insane, right? If you can get the correct stat line for your characters, it's really good. The major weakness for this accessory, right, is the high range in terms of defense. 72 to 115 is really big, so you want to high roll on the 100 plus side. And other than that, because there's so many sub options, sometimes you do not get the ideal combination you want for your character. So you might have to spend a lot of hero reset stone in order to get the desired one. However, if you do get the high rolls, right, such as weapon skill regen speed 12%, skill damage 20%, your HP defense, then this accessory is one of the best accessory in the game as well. So yeah, basically really good accessory, but very RNG based because you might not get the desired stats you want most of the time. And next, we'll talk about the Martyr Mirror Necklace. So this necklace was the hands down worst epic accessory before its buff. Recently, it has been buffed. If I'm not wrong, they increased the HP and defensive numbers. But I think this accessory is still really niche because you do negate the defense decrease and you do negate hit attack decrease. However, similar to your elemental accessory, there's a lot of sub options. So what will happen is maybe you will get doom damage negation even when you want attack negation, right? Maybe you will get injury negation other than attack decrease negation. And since I do not own this accessory, I'm not very sure whether or not you will get 100% negation when you roll for this ability or you get a range. So what if you're unlucky, you get 70% attack decrease negation? Then this accessory isn't better than your honor ring. So that's basically my take about Martyr Mirror Necklace, because defensive stat wise is decent. You have a very big variance in terms of the stats, but you can get some good rolls. 126 is pretty decent and good defenses, but the sub option is very niche and it's very RNG based. So roll for it at your own risk, but it's still a good accessory. So most of the epic accessories, they are good, but in this case I'll say Martyr Mirror Necklace is not that good when you compare it with many other unique and legend accessories. So the last two epic accessories, they are your pay to win accessories, and they are Earth Necklace as well as Ice Cream Ring. So the only way you can get them is either from gacha or from item dungeon based on insane luck. So Ice Cream Ring is the best epic accessories for the water units within arena. So Marina, Garum, Bianca, it's really good. And other than that, it's not much better compared to the Pocket Watch, because the other stats are very similar to Pocket Watch, right? It even have lower defenses, but the 15% water type attack is what makes this the best accessory for your water units, because you have quick hit, you have skill damage, weapon skill regen speed, defensive stats, and water type attack. So really good for water units, for arena, for PvE purposes, just the best accessory for water units. And the last pay to win epic accessory is your Earth Necklace. So Earth Necklace is basically a golden pocket watch but with defense decrease, right? If you ask me to be blunt about it. So this defense decrease is really crucial against the like of Nari and Tinia, because they have defense reduction, and in the future, because probably there will be more units with the defense decrease ability built into their kit. So this accessory is gonna be much more valuable within the arena as time goes by. So this accessory is one of the hardest to get, and usually when you see someone with a max limit break Earth Necklace, either number 1 they have insane luck, or number 2 they are insane real. So yep, this is definitely one of the best accessory in the game. In fact, I'll say that the Earth Necklace is the best accessory for arena, because the stat line is really good and the defense decrease negation ability is just simply amazing. And yeah, that's my personal take on all these epic accessories. In general, the legend accessories, they are not that high in terms of power level when you compare them to the epic accessories, and they are not that much higher compared to the unique accessories. So when you don't have them at the max Simibic form, then they might not be as good as compared to your unique accessories. But for your epic accessories, most of them are really good, but they have very high variances, as you guys can see, because they have a lot of step line within their sub options. So sometimes it's a pain to reroll for them. And yeah, that's my take on all these accessories, and hope you guys enjoy today's video and learn something from it. Remember to like and subscribe to see more videos such as this one from this channel, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!